So, the best thing on this show was Matt Riddle doing the crane kick. Crane kick. That's wow. I mean, it's an impressive crane kick, but that was seriously the best thing on this 3-hour show. What's going on, guys? This is your boy Big Hero Chris back at you with your Monday Night Raw review. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, man. Leave me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments in the comment section. Ring the notification bell. Hit me up on Twitter. Man. 3 hours. 3 whole hours of Monday Night Raw once again. And for whatever reason, I thought that this was going to be the last Raw in the Thunderdome. That's going to be next week. This coming up, SmackDown. This SmackDown coming up is going to be the last SmackDown in the Thunderdome. And then, yeah. But, yeah. It's almost over, guys. We almost made it. We're so close, man. So close to having wrestling, like WWE wrestling in front of an actual crowd, in front of people. Not the LED screens, not in front of the Thunderdome. People are actually going to react to what they're seeing on this show. And man, honestly, this show started off with a little bit of potential. Like, it started off, of course, with Miz TV, because every Raw pretty much has to start off with Miz TV. But it was kind of sort of entertaining because you had John Morrison introduce a new word, splash holes, which is now in my vocabulary. So thank you, John Morrison, for that. It was a Miz TV featuring the Money in the Bank participants from the Raw side. You had Ricochet come out, Drew McIntyre telling stories. And real quick, what's going on with Drew McIntyre? Like, is this his new gimmick? Like, the old guy that just tells stories? Like, I work in healthcare, right? And I work with a lot of old elderly people that just love telling you stories that you really don't care about, but you're just too kind to say, I don't care about what you're saying, so you just sit there and listen. That's what Drew McIntyre is turning into. He's the guy that has a story for everything. Hey Drew, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing fine. This reminds me of the time where my sword was depicted from the tusk of an elephant, and the tusk was pulled from the anus of that elephant. And he just goes on and on and on about a story that you don't care about. So anyway, Miz TV turns into another match between Ricochet and John Morrison. And on the one hand, these two fare well against each other, but now they're starting to go down that path of Raw rematches, because this match ended, and then guess what we're having next week? Another rematch between Ricochet and John Morrison. Again. I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, it's going to be a Falls Count Anywhere match, and the match is going to be good, but it's another rematch between Ricochet and John Morrison. Again. And speaking of Drew McIntyre, he had a match with Jinder Mahal. The ratings are probably gonna go through the roof because Jinder Mahal was featured on Monday Night Raw. It's gonna do Attitude Era numbers just because Jinder Mahal was on Raw tonight. But yeah, like, they had a pretty decent match, and it ended in, I think, a no contest. And after the match, Jinder Mahal stole Drew McIntyre's sword, which is, he stole Drew McIntyre's sword, right? So I guess this feud's gonna continue. You also had a match between Mustafa Ali and Mansoor. Mustafa Ali won because I guess he's trying to teach Mansoor a lesson. It is good to see Mustafa Ali on TV, and I guess Mansoor is okay too, but I don't know. Speaking of Mustafa Ali, you had his former Retribution brethren and T-Bar and Mace going up against the Lucha House Party. Both teams we haven't seen since 1992, and now they're just showing up on a random episode of Monday Night Raw. And then you had T-Bar and Mace lose to the Lucha House Party. Like, you could have left this off. Honestly, like, there was absolutely no need for this segment to be on Raw. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's asking for the Lucha House Party? Who's asking for T-Bar and Mace? You know. Speaking of pointless segments, you had an eight woman tag team match between Nikki, almost a superhero, Alexa Bliss, Naomi, and Asuka going up against Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Doudrop, and Eva Marie. And Eva Marie and them won the match. And I don't care. I hate to be that guy in the IWC when it comes to women's wrestling, but this week, or not even this week, but this episode of Raw did not do the women any type of favors, because this was just a thrown together tag team match between 8 women just because reasons, and I didn't care. And then you had another segment with Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. And what are we doing here? Like, what was the point of this segment? It was supposed to be Charlotte addressing an injury, or making an injury update, because apparently she was attacked last week by Rhea Ripley and her knee was supposed to be hurt. And as Charlotte's making her announcement, you have Rhea Ripley come out mocking Charlotte. She's coming out with a crutch like Charlotte did. And this led to them having a crutch fight that kind of looked like a poorly executed lightsaber fight. It almost kind of reminded me of that fight scene between in one of the Fast and Furious movies between Vin Diesel and Jason Statham, where they're fighting with the wrenches. That's kind of what it reminded me of. Like, and I'm like, what are we doing here? What is the entire point of this? What is the whole entire point? Like, and again, who am I supposed to cheer for? Who is the good guy in all this? Who is the heel? They both look like splash holes, you know what I'm saying? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Speaking of things that didn't make sense, you had Jackson Ryker and R-Truth in a tag team match against Elias and Cedric Alexander. During the match, the 24/7 people came out, and then R-Truth ran away because he's going after the 24/7 championship, and this led to a handicap match that didn't even go 5 minutes, and Jackson Ryker won. Why? Why is WWE trying to make Jackson Ryker a thing? What did Cedric Alexander do? Elias just left. Where is Jeff Hardy? What is the point of all this? Bruh. This whole Raw was pointless. Like, this was kind of like, it's kind of felt like, alright, so we only have a couple more of these in the Thunder Room left to do, so let's just crank these out until we can get in front of fans. Which, on the one hand, is understandable, but on the other hand, you still have a pay-per-view to promote. You still have Money in the Bank to promote. And besides what's going on with Edge and Roman Reigns, and I guess to a lesser extent Bobby Lashley and Kofi, and which the main event of the show was Bobby Lashley and MVP going up against the New Day, and Kofi got the pin on MVP, which is building up towards the Kofi and Bobby Lashley's match at Money in the Bank. And like I said, like, besides the Money in the Bank match itself, the main event between Roman and Edge, and to a lesser extent MVP, but Kofi again and Lashley, I don't care. Like, I really don't care. I mean, I don't want to say I don't care, because you still have the Money in the Bank match, and you still have, I guess, either between Cesaro and Seth Rollins and King Corbin, or King Nakamura and Baron Corbin. I mean, unless Seth Rollins is going to be in the match, and he possibly cashes in on either Edge or Roman Reigns. Other than that, man, I don't care. Like, you have another rematch between Bianca and Bayley in an I Quit match. Other than that, like, what's the real point of what's the point of all this? You're supposed to be building up towards the Money in the Bank match. This is gonna be another event that's gonna be in front of fans, but why exactly should we care? This Raw didn't do anything to really build up the hype for Money in the Bank. I don't know. There's still that little part of me that's kind of holding out hope for things to get better with fans, but it's probably going to be a lot more of the same. The only difference is, instead of it being in the Thunderdome, it's going to be in arenas with people who can actually react. They can actually boo, cheer, make noise, or not make any noise at all. So I don't know, man. It's only a matter of time. It's next week, Friday is going to be the beginning, and then you have Money in the Bank, and then you have Monday Night Raw after that. So I don't know. But yeah, that was my quick little review of Monday Night Raw. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Were you feeling this show? Were you not? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, hit me up on social media. I'm gonna go outside and practice my crank hit. You guys take care. I'm out. Peace.